What's going on, moviegoers? If you're new to the channel, my name is Christian. Welcome to SeaWorld Production. Expanding the universes within the MCU and DC films. Now, I wanted to make this video and talk about how I'm excited about how there's so many great opportunities to go beyond film and start doing movie-like quality shows and expand and make the universe grow much faster than we've usually seen it. Because before, within the MCU, we've only just had their films come out. With the release of Disney Plus, they announced a bunch of new shows that they're going to be working on that are going to be canon within the MCU timeline. The same thing with HBO Max, which just dropped. DC has their plans on extending and doing shows within their film universes. And I just think that it is a genius idea to adapt this ideology moving forward. And not just only doing films, but doing movie-like quality shows. And I feel like shows such as like Game of Thrones really helped, propel this and have, these studios kind of get these opportunities to at least these thoughts of like, hey, what if we just throw and invest more money into our shows? I feel like it's a brilliant idea. It really is. I mean, I'm watching The Boys season 2 right now, and my God, The Boys, if you guys aren't watching The Boys on Amazon Prime, it is spectacular. I highly suggest you guys watch The Boys on Amazon Prime. It is so damn good. So good, and I don't want it to end. A new episode drops every Friday, so I always have something to look forward to every Friday. Sundays, I usually go over to my wife's father's house, and we sit down, we eat, and we watch it, and we talk about it. It's just great times we have on Sundays when we watch The Boys. But yeah, man, I really wanted to talk about this stuff, within the MCU and DC films. Starting off with the MCU, of course, we have WandaVision. They just dropped the official trailer for that. That drops on Disney Plus at the end of this year. And then you have Falcon and the Winter Soldier. That's another series that drops sometime next year. That was supposed to come out this year, but obviously we had a pandemic and pushed things behind. And you have the Loki TV series that, that Marvel Studios is working on. That's coming out next year as well. And then you have the animated series coming out next year, which I'm really, really pumped about. And that is going to be Chadwick Boseman's last performance within the MCU. And I'm so heartbroken by that. It's still a sensitive subject to talk about his greatness and his capabilities of really capturing and delivering such stellar performances, within his films. It's really sad, even to even think about. And then you have the Hawkeye series coming in 2022. Then you have the Miss Marvel series dropping 2022. Then you have the She-Hulk series in 2022, officially casted as Tatiana Maslany, going to be playing Jennifer Walters in the MCU. Then you have the Moon Knight series that they're going to be working on. And then you have the Nick Fury series that they just announced not too long ago. So their rap sheet for their shows on Disney Plus looks full. And this is just the beginning. This is just the beginning. And I have a feeling that all of these shows that they announced at the past Comic-Cons that I just dropped are all going to be within Phase 4. And going into Phase 5, I don't even know what to expect, what Marvel plans on dropping. It's going to be insane. And that's just their shows. That's just their shows. I haven't even stated their movies yet. Think about that. That's WandaVision, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Loki, What If, Hawkeye, Miss Marvel, She-Hulk, Moon Knight, Nick Fury. And then you jump over to their films. Then you have Black Widow that's supposed to be dropping May 7th of next year. Then you have the Eternals. That's going to be dropping November of next year. You have Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. That's going to be dropping in July of next year. You have Spider-Man 3. That's going to be dropping at the end of December. Then you have Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. That's March 25th. Thor: Love and Thunder, February 11th. Black Panther 2. Very, very, very sensitive subject. No idea what's going to happen with that film. Don't know. Kevin Feige and Marvel Studios are all grieving right now. Don't know if they plan on going forward. Don't know if they plan on recasting. Don't know if they plan on having Shuri become the new Black Panther. No idea. It's a delicate situation. And I don't know how I feel about it moving forward. It's gonna be tricky. It's a huge loss for Marvel Studios, obviously. With the success of Black Panther 1, I don't know what they're gonna do, you guys. I really don't. And it's really unfortunate. It's really unfortunate that we only got to see Chadwick Boseman just deliver us one Black Panther film. I mean, I really was hoping to get a sequel, a third film. Everybody gets 3 films. It's looking like that's not gonna happen, you guys. I don't know what's gonna happen with that. And moving forward, you have Captain Marvel 2. That's gonna be dropping July 8th of 2022. And then, Blade is probably going to be going into phase 5, and the X-Men, the Fantastic Four, and whatever they have to announce sometime next year during whatever Comic-Con or event they have planned. But that's going to be interesting. So the Marvel Studios is it's loaded with all the good stuff that they're going to be dropping on there exclusively for the Disney Plus, and then in theaters whenever they decide to reopen theaters and it's safe for people to go back in to theaters. Now keep this in mind. All the release dates I said for the movies aren't official yet. I'm sorry. But come February of next year, if it's still not safe, I'm sorry, but expect another shift in their films. That's just being realistic. It's going to happen again. If it's, May of next year, Black Widow's supposed to come out. That's not official, you guys. I thought Black Widow was going to come out this year, but I didn't hold my breath. I was just like, you know what? I'm not going to hold my breath. Nothing's official yet. And guess what? It got shifted again, shifting all the other films. So it's going to be interesting to see what really happens, if the world is healing, if the world is going back to somewhat normal, if the vaccines are being sent out, if people are taking the vaccines. It's going to be interesting to see what really happens moving forward. Moving on to DC. Now, DC, I'm hella excited for. I mean, during DC fandom, we got a bunch of good shit, a bunch of good stuff. We're talking the Batman trailer. We got the Zack Snyder cut trailer, the Suicide Squad, Wonder Woman 1984. We got that official Cheetah reveal. I mean, it was just glorious that weekend. I was so happy and so thrilled that DC fandom was such a huge success. I can't wait for DC fandom next year. It's going to be another massive success, and I hope to continue to see DC fandom every single year. Obviously, because it being a huge success, I feel like Warner Brothers is really going to establish, okay, well, we're going to be skipping on Comic-Con, saving us some money. What if we just do DC fandom every weekend? Maybe if they charge a monthly subscription or whatever. I'm pretty sure you have plenty of fans out there who would go beyond and pay that and support DC Comics. It's come on now. It's so many great things are coming. But for the HBO Max obviously is going to be the new head showrunner for all the DC shows. Now, Titans is already going to be thrown on there. You have Doom Patrol. I just got Swamp Thing season 1. I haven't seen it yet. Obviously, the show was canceled, so kind of a bummer, especially if I watch it and fall in love with the show. Knowing that this show has been canceled, it's gonna kill me. It's gonna kill me. But those shows that I just named, those aren't canon with DC films or the DCU. So we're gonna be talking about the stuff that is going to be canon within their films. You have the Peacemaker show that they just announced. You have James going to be writing and directing. John Cena obviously is going to be starring as a Peacemaker in that show. That's going to be dropping on HBO Max that they're working on. You have the Untitled GCPD film series on HBO Max. That's going to be within the Batman universe. Really excited. Did not expect them to go beyond the Batman. I thought that we were just going to get 3 movies. We're going to get a Matt Reeves trilogy, and that was it. But no, I feel they have huge plans for this Batman universe and to extend it and do shows. And I hope this isn't just the only one. I'm hoping Catwoman gets a show and even some Rogues Gallery. Can you imagine something like that? That would be so intriguing. You know what I mean? To really focus on Batman's villains and get more in depth with them. And I feel like that's such a unique idea. And I think that, Warner Brothers and, Warner Media and HBO Max and Matt Reeves should really sit down and try to utilize, this streaming platform because it's huge. It really is. And then you have the Justice League Dark series. Don't know if that's going to be canon within the DCU. Aquaman, Shazam, no idea. So I'm curious to see what's going to happen with that series. I hope it is. I hope it's canon. Why not? It makes sense. You don't really need to have a bunch of films drop every single year. If you can throw some good money at a great series and you really utilize and use that as another platform to show great DC content, why not just try to achieve that? So I'm really hoping that Justice League Dark is canon into the DC films, man. And you have the Green Lantern show. I know Jeff Johns was going to be one of the showrunners on that. Don't know if that's going to be happening because of his rap right now and the whole Ray Fisher and Snyder Cut thing. That's going to be interesting to see. Was, Green Lantern going to be canon? No idea. The whole Green Lantern Corps. I don't know. I mean, no idea, but I know a lot of people are ready to see the Green Lantern. A lot of people. And I'd rather have a Green Lantern film than an actual series, if I'm being honest with you guys. The last time we got it was in 2011 with Ryan Reynolds. I mean, that film was subpar, mediocre, obviously. But I want to see him in films. So I'm really hoping, if they do a series, obviously it's going to be very expensive, they should throw it into the films as well. Keep Buchanan with the whole Wonder Woman, Shazam, The Flash. So, and we have The Flash as well. That's going to be, revamping everything apparently. Like The Flash is legit going to, restart this universe. So I'm really curious to see how that's going to happen. Like I don't know how I feel about that. Then of course you have the Snyder Cut. That's going to be a 4-episode miniseries on HBO Max, an hour long each. That's going to be interesting. I cannot wait to see Zack Snyder's intended version. Is the Snyder Cut going to be canon going forward? No idea what's going to happen with that. So I'm really curious to see what's going to happen at the end of the Snyder Cut. I mean, there's no way that WB and HBO Max and those boys over there throw $70 million at Snack Snyder. I call him Snack Snyder. There's no way they throw him $70 million and be like, hey, this is just a one-off and that's it, you're done. I have a feeling it's going to go beyond that. They have some reshoots that they're going to be doing, some additional photography in October. So I feel like the Snyder Cut might just lead to something more. I'm really hoping I'm right. Really hoping I'm right. But yeah, that's the shows that they have working on so far for HBO Max. And you have the films, you have the Batman that drops next year in October. Then you have the Suicide Squad that drops in August. You have Wonder Woman 1984 that's supposed to drop in December, but it's not. I guarantee that's facts. Then you have Shazam! Fury of the Gods, November 22. You have Black Adam next year. You have Aquaman 2 in 2022. And you have the Flash film in 2022. So their films are still looking great. We got some shows announced, and I'm really hoping to really expand on the DC content, especially, live action that is going in with their films, because the DC animated stuff is already top-notch shit. DC animated is some of the greatest animated films I've ever seen. Love them, love them, love them, love them. So I'm really curious to see just how far we're going to expand on the DCU and DC films. There's a Joker sequel in the works. I'm hearing things about that. Like, what's really going to happen with that? I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see what happens, in the future of the whole HBO Max, HBO Max DC content. Like I said, I really hope that it's canon. I want their shows to be canon. I do. I don't want another, because if you introduce a Green Lantern in a different universe, does that mean Green Lantern can never appear in the DCU? Like, why give us that? There's no need for that. Like, just create one and have it in one universe. That's the bread and butter. Like, I'm sorry, but that's the Marvel formula. Keep it in one universe. There's no need to expand. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Yeah, some people don't think it's canon, some people it's canon, whatever. And all the other shows that they were working on. Kevin Feige, he's now like the head runner over there, and he canceled all that shit. He's like, no, we're going to keep it in one family, and that's it. There's no need to have different universes. We're one family, and we're moving forward. So I'm really hoping DC adapts to that, because obviously with Doom Patrol, Titans, all those shows are not one family. They're all in different universes. And, the whole multiverse thing, some people could say, oh, well, DC's doing the whole multiverse thing. I get that. All right, cool. But I still want to see, like, the Justice League Dark. I want to see that shit in the DCU. I'm sorry, but that's like, I just really want to see that in the DCU. Like, no excuses. Like, there's no need for a separate universe. Just please make all that good stuff canon and make it one big family. But post your comments down below. Let me know what you guys think about the nice extended content of Marvel and DC we're going to be getting on their streaming services for HBO Max and Disney+. What are you guys most looking forward to? Please post your comments down below. And thank you for taking time in your day for watching C-World Productions. Peace.
We out. We out. We out.